What's up, Tribe? How you guys doing? This is gonna be your growing up hip hop season 4, episode 12. So they're doing that, like, I guess part one, part two season, like they did with the other growing up hip hop. So this is technically still season 4, but we're just picking up after, I guess, they had a little hiatus. Um, we start the episode. First of all, this is a 2-hour episode, which I didn't realize. That's why y'all didn't get it last night, because it was a lot to watch. Anyway, well, we start the episode off with the death of Angela Simmons' boyfriend. Well, sorry, he was her ex-boyfriend at the time, her father's son. And we're seeing her reaction. We see JoJo there, and we see Romeo shows up. And it seems like her and Romeo were finally actually starting to try to date, whether it be for the show, whether it be in real life, whatever. And then this happened. And of course, I always tell you guys, when real life meets reality TV, it takes shit in a whole different trajectory. So, what Angela is basically saying is like, look, at this point right now, if you say you're going to be there for me, I need you to be there for me. Like, I can't be disappointed. I can't have people who are half-assed in my life, because it's too much riding on it right now. Like, my life right now, it's not about me. It's about my son. It's about the fact that I found out that I found myself being a single parent, at this point. And I'm sure she still has some unfinished business with him. I mean, their breakup, it wasn't recent, I would say, but I don't think it was, I don't think she had fully processed the breakup when he was murdered. And then for him to die the way he died, for him to be murdered, it's just a lot. It's a lot. So that's what the episode starts off, but then they flash back 4 months earlier, which is when I guess they started filming. And we just kind of see, how it goes with the first episode. We see where everybody is and what's going on with everybody. Everybody's, knew this and knew that. And so we have Angela's building a house. She's bought a plot of land and she's building a house. She's moved back to New York. Peppa is dating her bodyguard, which we knew last season. They just weren't saying it, but we knew they was dating. But they out now. Master P looked like he done lost some weight. I think Master P he looking, he still thickums, but he ain't like he looked like he done lost some weight. He looked good. He looked good. But that was nothing really. I mean, everybody's kind of, everybody got a story. Everybody got stuff going on. You know how that goes. So Vanessa and Angela, we see them meeting up, and their storyline this season look like it's going to be the same as last season, where Vanessa's ready to move into some business opportunities. Looks like Pastry has reached out to them to sort of become creative directors. Remember, that's the brand that they started. If you remember Rev's house or Run's house back in the day, Angela and Vanessa, they started this company. It was under the umbrella of I think it was under the umbrella of Baby Fat, or one of those companies, I believe. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know. And then, they left at a certain point, but it was a very popular brand. They had definitely tapped into their demographic, and I remember they teamed up with Girl Scouts, and they did like the Thin Mints and, that kind of thing. So definitely, it definitely was a good thing for them at that time, and it helped launch them into other areas. But Vanessa, but Angela has the same problem that she had last season. She already is in contracts with other clothing designers and other businesses that would conflict with Pastry, and she's like, I can't do it. The difference, though, is Vanessa this year is like, okay, I'm not going to sit back and hem and haw and wish that I could. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to move forward without Angela. And we see later on in the episode where she actually meets with Pastry, and it sounds like Pastry wants both of them, because it sounds like, yeah, they're asking to be creative directors, but I think it's more of they're trying to do some rebranding and relaunching, and they want to say, oh, you know how companies do. We're going to go back to, go back to the beginning, go back to the roots and that kind of thing. And so it sounds like they're really only interested if it's both of them. So Vanessa has to sort of go back to Angela, and Angela again reiterates, look, I can't do it. Like, it sounds great, but she's like, I'm in the middle of my own, I'm in the middle of contracts to create my own shoe line. Like, I can't rep Pastry and have my own shoe line. Like, I can't do both. Although if the other shoe line is like stilettos and high heels, you probably could, but clearly, it's a conflict. But it sounds like Vanessa's going to move forward anyway. So I'm sure that's going to be a big conflict for their storyline. All right. Let's talk about the Peps. We got Peppa and her boo. She all up on him, proclaiming him, he the man, he her husband, her boo, whatever, whatever. We got Egypt and Sam. Egypt and Sam are still mad at TT and Tyran from last season about the way the whole thing went down in Vegas, because Sam feels like the way they came at him was disrespectful and that they were blaming him for everything. And, Egypt is like, it's not all on them. This is what I wanted, But what they're not understanding is, but Sam was the oldest out of the two of y'all, and he should have been the one to be like, yeah, that's not a good idea. But instead, he decided to move forward and that y'all were going to get married and not tell nobody. When all of y'all were right there in Vegas. It's not even like y'all flew to Vegas by yourself and was doing this. Like, all of y'all were in Vegas and y'all snuck off to a chapel. And so, we'll get back to that. But anyway, we see where they're talking and, trying to, come to, she's talking to her mom about it. And, Peppa's like, look, you and TT need to just talk it out. Family, at the end of the day, we still family and y'all need to work it out. So we'll get there because, that didn't happen that easily. Brianna, and she's making music. She's in the studio. We see her with Damon Dash. He's her mentor now. And he's telling her, what's going on with the music. Like, how many songs do you have? And she's like, oh, well, I only have the one song. And he's kind of like coming at her like he's her producer or something. Like, look, I need to have XYZ amount of songs done by XYZ day. And we can't be bullshitting. And I was just like, are you her EP? Like, are you executive producing this shit? Like, the hell? But whatever. But she's cool with it. She's like, that's what I need. I need somebody that's going to be on me and make sure I stay in line and all that good stuff. And then, they talk about Boog. Now, to hear them tell the story, Boogie's still out here wilding out. He done had some situation at the 7-Eleven, but he done wilded out or tried to rob the place or was drunk or high or some shit. But then, of course, to hear Boogie tell the story, he's been sober since he came out of rehab. So who knows what's really going on with that whole story. We'll get to them later. Master P and Romeo. They're planning a yacht party. So, of course, that's going to be like the big event. What they really did was look like they took 2 episodes and put them together for the premiere. And that's fine. That's cool. But we have Romeo and Master P. They're planning this yacht party. And that's what they're going to do. So, it's going to be like the first big event or whatever. Brianna's mad at TT. She said that she feels like TT threw her under the bus with the whole Angela Simmons thing. Like, when we was together and we was cool, then yeah, you was talking shit about Angela. But then when you wanted to be cool with Vanessa, then you kind of threw me under the bus. And it is what it is. So we'll get, that's their little beef or whatever. Brianna got to have beef with somebody. She makes for good TV. She's a good villain. She's good for it. We have... It's a lot of stuff going on, y'all. It's a lot of stuff. Vanessa and JoJo's back this season. So Vanessa and JoJo they're going to the yacht party. Angela said she couldn't come. She's in New York. She couldn't get to LA. She can't go to the yacht party. But JoJo and Vanessa go. And she's talking to JoJo about the situation with Pastry or whatever. And JoJo was like, look, at the end of the day, sorry about that. I had to answer that text. So, I don't even know where I left off. Damn. Vanessa, maybe it was Vanessa and JoJo. But JoJo's basically telling her, go ahead and do your thing. Like, you can't wait on Angela. You just let her know what's going on. He was like, be honest with her. Be upfront. Let her know what's going on. Don't do anything behind her back. But at the end of the day, if this is an opportunity you want to take advantage of and Angela doesn't want to take advantage of it, she can't be mad at you about it. Like, at the end of the day, she can't really get mad at you about it. So, there's that. So while the yacht party is going on, Boogie's sister is graduating, and they're having a graduation party for her at Dame Dash's house. Now, here's the thing. There are a couple of things about that situation. First of all, First of all, Boogie just needs to respond to the text. If he's not going, he needs to say he's not going. But she keeps texting him, and instead of her saying, I want you to come, I want you to come to my party, I want you to come to my graduation, why didn't you come for me? She keeps saying, Dad's disappointed you're not here, Dad wants you to come. Well, you already know he mad at Dad, so that's not going to get him there. If you say me or it's coming from me, that's one thing. But to say it's, that this is what Dad wants, I don't mean no harm, but that's all the more reason why he would stay away. So the party's going on or whatever, and of course Boogie ain't showing up. But on top of the fact that Boogie's not showing up, Boogie didn't respond. Like, Boogie didn't say anything, which to me, that's one of my biggest fucking pet peeves. When I text you, even if you text me saying I can't talk right now, let me know. Don't just leave my text out there in oblivion. That hurts my nerves. I'm horrible with phone calls, but with text, I got you. Anyway, so Brianna, so they're all on the boat. Oh, the other thing I was going to say was Boogie is the DJ at the yacht party. So he's probably getting paid to be at the yacht party, which again, all you have to do is let them know, look, I'm not going to be able to come to the graduation party. I got a gig. We know that you're a DJ. We know that you do music. And if you're getting paid to be there, I mean, work is work. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. And then you show up later, but again, you didn't even give her the respect of the phone call or the text to say, look, I have to work. I'm not going to be there. All right. So here we are on the yacht party, and all the players are there. Everybody's there except for Angela. So all the other people on the show are there. Pep's there with her new man, and they all booed up, kiss and hug. So the big conflict is TT and Brianna. You know, TT shows up with a man. She's trying to make Boogie jealous, because you remember at the end of last season. Sorry. My bad. So Brianna, when Brianna gets there, she speaks to everybody, and then of course she ignores TT, like, nah, we ain't cool right now. TT's like, what the fuck? Like, we was cool 2 weeks ago, now we not cool. I don't know what's up. Like, why we not cool no more? Because we was cool 2 weeks ago, and I don't know why we not cool. And of course TT is sitting there like, what the hell? Like, what happened? Before we move forward though, Dame Dash at this graduation party, first of all, it didn't look like it was like a full-fledged party. It looked like it was like just a little family cookout. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to have no big blowout or whatever. But Dame Dash walking around with no shirt on and getting in and sitting in the hot tub like he motherfucking Scarface at the end of the movie, and everybody, the world is mine type shit. I was like, the fuck kind of, y'all know Dame Dash, eagle maniac ass be on that shit. But anyway, I just thought that shit was crazy that Dame Dash was sitting in the daggone jacuzzi in the middle of his daughter's graduation party. And I guess it was a pool party and just nobody else was in the pool. I don't know. Because then his girlfriend came over in her bikini and slid in the jacuzzi with him. I don't know. It looked like his daughter may have had on a bikini top. So maybe it was a pool party. It just looked weird to me. Because it was only like 6 people there. And it just looked weird. Anyway, back to the yacht party. So we're at the yacht party. And like I said, Brianna is doing what Brianna does. And TT is just like, whatever. But the big conflict is with, because everybody like they were having a good time. It looked like it was a really nice party. And it was they were promoting the rum. You remember Master P has his own rum or whatever. So he was promoting the rum. Yeah, I'm sorry. But the main conflict on the boat was with Egypt, Tyran, TT, and what's Egypt's boyfriend name? Sam. Because they haven't spoken since the whole Vegas thing. So at first they were ignoring each other. Well, at first Sam and Egypt was ignoring. I ain't even gonna say that. At first Sam was ignoring Tyran and TT because at one point Egypt looked like she was getting ready to go speak to them, and he grabs her hand and pulled her away. I'm not crazy about Sam. I'm still not crazy about Sam. I don't like that whole situation. I don't know. Whatever. I still think Sam could be very controlling, and I'm really not crazy about his whole attitude, especially after how this shit went down on the boat. So at a certain point, Egypt decides that she is going to go ahead and talk to TT and Tyran. Oh, Brianna tries to make Boogie jealous. It doesn't work. Boogie doesn't like you like that, so I don't think he cares. I think he misses you as his friend. I don't think he. And she says she's over it, but I don't think she's over it, because if you were over it, you wouldn't be trying to make him jealous. But it's cool. So Egypt and Scott, I want to keep calling that boy Chris. Scott, they go up to TT and Tyran to basically talk about what happened in Vegas, which, why you picked that moment in time? Y'all ain't talked to each other in 2 weeks, and now y'all at the yacht party, and now you want to talk about it? Y'all just ignore each other for a couple of more minutes, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But anyway, they talk or whatever, and Tyran was just trying to get him to understand, like, dude, that's my sister. And at the end of the day, you didn't respect the family enough, you know, to come to us and say, hey, this is what we're getting ready to do, and, you know, it is what it is. Like, I want to marry my sister. I want to marry your sister, and this is what it is. And he was like, so yeah, I'm pissed off. Yes, I'm upset. And yeah, I'm questioning your motives, and I'm questioning how it went down, because at the end of the day, I'm her big brother, and that's what I'm going to do. Big brothers are crazy. I had one, and he was crazy as shit. My brother was crazy as hell. And when it came to me or my sister, you know, my little sister, all bets are off. And all that logical thinking, it goes out the window. And so then Sam was like, well, you know, it felt like you was walking up on me, and, you know, if that's how you want to do it, we can do that. And then he starts taking his book bag off. So then Tyran was like, whoa, what we doing here? And then Sam flips the fucking table. First of all, you do notice that that Tyran studies martial arts. Now, I know they're not supposed to use it, you know, outside or whatever, but it doesn't mean that he don't have the skills. What I'm going to need you to do is calm your shit down, because I think he could break you with a look. How about that? Then, why did you go from 0 to 100 on the boat? Like, what the hell was all that about? So anyway, that turns into a big thing, but they break it up before it actually goes to blows, because neither one of them was really trying to fight. Like, they was in each other. You know how people do. They was in each other's face, but if they really wanted to fight, they'd have fought, because they ain't had no security on the boat. The only person that was, at first, it wasn't nobody in between them at first, and then when somebody did get in between them, it was Egypt. So I think that's the only thing that probably stopped it, is because neither one of them wanted to hit Egypt. But again, they were in each other's face before Egypt even got there, and it wasn't no security, which was interesting, because I didn't think there was a reality show alive at this point that didn't keep security on deck. But okay. So then the trip is over. It's whatever. And they getting off the ship, and Pepper was like, I don't like that. Like, this is family. I don't like the fact that y'all fighting. I don't like the fact, like, I don't like that. So we're going to have to try to work this out. So Pep's boyfriend, he all in and talking about some, oh no, flipping tables. Because Pep was like, well, I understand why you would flip a table, because, you know. And he was like, no, we don't flip tables. No, you don't understand. And she was like, well, I mean, you know, I flipped some tables in my day. I've done it, you know, okay. He was like, no, that's not cool. That's not cool. We're going to have a family meeting. And everybody looking at him like, family meeting? Dude, you just got here. Like, even Sam was like, I don't know how I feel about how he moving. Like, you know, and so they supposed to be having a family meeting. Now, mind you, Pep's boyfriend is remember, he's an artist, he's a rapper or whatever. So she's producing his first music video. So she wants everybody to be cool and getting along, because she wants everybody to come and be a part of the music video. But y'all do remember the whole side story with this. I'm sure they're gonna bring it up later on in the season, where supposedly his boyfriend, her boyfriend is married, and the wife was saying that he was cheating on her. Like it was a big scandal, whatever. But I'm sure they're gonna bring that up later on in the season. So they decide they're gonna have this family meeting. So they sit down to have the family meeting, and basically the boyfriend, Andre, I think his name is, but it's not spelled like the regular Andre. It's like a U in there or something. You know, people always gotta try to be different. But Andre kept over talking Pep. He kept cutting her off. He was like running the meeting. He was like basically, and so both, like, Tyran and I think Sam and Tyran ended up making up, because they were looking, both of them looking at this dude like, who this nigga? Like, who he think he is? He don't run nothing around here. Like, he don't tell nobody what to do. So anyway, it was just, it was crazy. So they sort of, I guess, came to a little bit of a truce. But what was noticeable in that whole scene was how this dude was like really just over talking Pep, cutting Pep off. And Pep ain't that kind of chick. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was very interesting how that whole thing went down. We see a scene where Vanessa's talking to her mom, basically expressing to her mom her issues and how she wants to work with, pastry, but she doesn't want to go behind Vanessa's back, blah, 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 blah. Angela's back, blah, blah, blah. We have a scene with Boogie and Brianna. They're talking. She's trying to talk to him about what's going on with, him with the 7-Eleven or whatever. Boogie was like, yeah, I'm not talking about that. Like, I'm good. I'm sober. Ain't no problems. I'm not talking about that. We got a scene with JoJo and Eazy-E's son. They go to the studio with Boogie, listen to some of his music. The music sound pretty decent. Like, I kind of like it. But what was interesting in that scene was because what's his name? Boogie kept talking about his father. And Boogie's thing is, he doesn't respect his dad, and he doesn't like what his dad, because he feels like the only time his father's playing a character for the cameras. He said when the cameras are off, his father don't have all this concern for him. His father ain't calling him. His father ain't worried about what's going on with him. But the minute the cameras come back on, then all of a sudden he concerned dad. He worried about me. He trying to get me in rehab. I got all these problems. I'm an alcoholic. He said, and I feel like he's portraying me in a way that's embarrassing and in a way that's not valid. So I see his point, but I also know addicts, and I know people who are in the midst and don't want to accept that they have a problem. This is the mentality and the mindset they have. Now, I don't know if Boogie's sober or not, but it seems to really be a conflict between what Boogie is saying and what Dame is saying about his behavior. Like, Boogie hanging out of hotel rooms and cars, and like the real crazy behavior. And Boogie doesn't deny that those things happen. He just downplays it like it's not a big deal. See, to me, that's addict behavior. I'm not calling him an addict. I ain't saying he is. I'm just saying there may be some validity. That's all I'm going to say to that. But the biggest thing in that scene was, Lil Eric was there. And basically, Lil Eric was like, look, dude, I wish me, and he kept saying quarrel. I was like, all right with the big word quarrel. But he was like, I wish my dad was here for me to quarrel with him. I wish he was here to tell me I was wrong, to tell me I messed up. He was like, you just don't get it. People just take for granted that people are going to be here forever until they're not here anymore. And he was like, he was like, I can't tell you what to do, but I just want you to understand that time is short. And, there's nothing I wouldn't do to be able to talk to my dad again, whether it be an argument or whatever. And so, Boogie was like, you know what, I hear you, and you know what, maybe I will. Maybe I'll reach out to him, maybe I'll talk to him, whatever. The only other thing, what else went down? Oh, they had the video shoot. Brianna and TT got into it. Brianna was basically letting TT know why she mad at her, and TT was like, what the fuck you talking about? TT was like, we are separate, we're not the same. I don't feel like I threw you under the bus. All I'm saying is, she was like, I'm friends with Vanessa. I can't invite Brianna. When I hang out with Brianna, I can't invite Vanessa. So I'm in the middle, and I'm just trying to do my best. I like both of them. I'm friends with both of them, and I shouldn't be a problem. It's always tricky when you got friends that don't get along. It's always tricky. Then Vanessa tried to talk to Angela again about the whole pastry thing, and Angela was like, look, I already told you I can't do it, but it would be stupid for you to do it by yourself. Like, that was our company, that we did together, and I don't think you should do it without me. We're going to see how that works out. Last but not least, because I told y'all it was 2 hours, one episode, and I'm trying not to make this review too damn long. It's already longer than I wanted it to be. But Dame and Boogie ended up meeting up. Boogie went to go meet with Dame, and this was like at the very end, so I'm sure they're going to carry it over into the next episode. Well, basically, what was said was, what I found was interesting. Boogie was like, the only time you act like you care about me is when the camera's on. Dame said, the only time I get to see you is when they're paying you and when it's for growing up hip-hop. And it was like, they totally, like, fuck the fact that we on this show right now. They was totally talking like, he was like, the only time I see you is when we on growing up, is when we doing growing up hip-hop. Like, yeah, you're right. You make it seem like the only time I reach out to you is when the cameras are on, but that's the only time I can see you is when the cameras are on. You don't call me back. You don't include me. You don't none of that unless the cameras are on. So it was very interesting because I can sort of see both sides of it. I see, again, if Boogie really doesn't have a problem and Boogie really isn't an addict, I could definitely see where Boogie would feel like his father is exploiting him for the show. But then on the flip side, I could see where Dame is coming from, saying, look, the only time I know I'm going to be able to see you is when there's money involved. You show up for the check. Like, you ain't here right now because you really want to have a conversation with me. You here right now because they paid you to be here. And I was like, very interesting. So that was the first episode. We're going to see where this goes. I'm sure they're going to build up the whole Pep situation with her boyfriend and his wife. The fact that he has a son on the way. They talked about that. That right now, currently, he has a child that's on the way. So that means that at least 7, 6, 8 months ago, he was still actively with his wife. So, some timeline situations going on there. I'm sure the Dame Dash Boogie thing is going to be they're going to blow that up, and I'm sure they're going to totally exploit the situation with Angela and her son's father being killed. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.